All right, let's dive into a story today. It's a simple little fable that, honestly, might just change the way you see your own life. It's all about a very unhappy ant who went on a quest to find happiness, and what she discovered, well, it's pretty surprising. You know that feeling, right? Maybe you're scrolling online or just looking around, and it hits you. It seems like everyone else has it all figured out, like they're all happier. Well, that exact feeling, that's where our story really begins. So, let's meet our main character. She's this small ant, living her life at the root of a big old tree. And to be honest, she's completely miserable. She looks at all the other animals and just thinks, my life is useless. It has no purpose. I just wish I were someone else. So one evening, picture this, she's just sitting on a little stone, crying her eyes out. A wise man happens to walk by and asks her what's wrong. And she just lets it all out, all her sadness, her feeling of being small, and she tells him her deepest secret wish, to be reborn as a beautiful, free butterfly. The wise man listens to all of this very patiently, and then he says, okay, I'll grant your wish. But of course, there's a catch. He gives her a quest. He tells her, before I can turn you into a butterfly, you have to go find one and learn the secret to its happiness. And with that, her journey begins. So, the ant is suddenly filled with hope. She sets off, completely convinced that these other creatures hold the key to a perfect, happy life. But this is where her whole perspective is about to be put to the test. Pretty soon, she finds this gorgeous butterfly, and she's just in awe. She asks, your life must be wonderful. You have to be the happiest creature alive, right? But the butterfly's answer is, well, it's shocking. It tells her that its life only lasts a few days, and it lives every single moment in constant fear of it ending. The very thing the ant admired was actually the source of its deepest anxiety. Okay, so the butterfly is definitely not happy. It actually suggests the ant go talk to someone who's really useful, the bee. I mean, that makes sense, right? Who could possibly be happier than the one who makes sweet honey for everyone?
So the ant finds a bee, buzzing from flower to flower. Your life has so much purpose, she exclaims. But the bee just sounds tired. It explains that its life is nothing but hard work, and in the end, humans just come along and steal all its honey, showing zero gratitude. It felt totally exploited.
Feeling a bit disappointed again, the ant listens as the bee points her toward the rabbit. Now the rabbit, that seems like the ideal life. Free to just leap and play around in the forest all day long. This has got to be the answer. And here we go again. Check out the difference between what the ant thinks and what's really going on. She sees this lucky, playful, carefree rabbit. But the rabbit's reality? It's a life of constant terror, always hiding, always on the run from hunters. What looked like total freedom was actually a prison of fear. At this point, I think the ant is starting to see a pattern emerging. But there's one last creature she has to meet, one that seems to be the very symbol of freedom itself. And this final encounter, this is the one that's going to change everything. She climbs a tall tree and finds a bird singing this beautiful song. She says, surely you must be the happiest of all. But the bird tells a very familiar story, a life of always searching for food, always hiding from predators, with no real peace. And then it says something that just stops the ant dead in her tracks. The bird, who's seen the entire world, tells the ant that out of all the creatures it's ever met, it thinks ants have the best life. Why? Because they're safe, they work together as a team, and nobody bothers them. The very life the ant wanted so desperately to escape was the one this bird admired the most. And that was the big turning point. With this incredible revelation just ringing in her head, the ant hurried back to the wise man, her entire worldview completely transformed. So let's just break down what she learned. Every single life that she had envied came with its own hidden pain. The butterfly feared its short life. The bee felt its hard work was stolen. The rabbit lived in terror, and the bird found no peace. Turns out, everyone is fighting a battle you just can't see from the outside. When she stood before the wise man again, she wasn't crying anymore. Her eyes were shining with this new understanding, and she told him, I get it now. I don't want to be a butterfly anymore. I want to be who I am. I want to be an ant. So why does this simple fable matter so much? Well, because the ant's journey is our journey, isn't it? We look at other people and we see only the beautiful wings, not the fear of a short life. We see the curated highlight reel, not the struggle that's happening behind the scenes. And that brings us to the really powerful takeaway here.
The happiness that the ant was searching for all over the world, it was waiting for her right back where she started. It's a profound reminder that your life, right now, with all its imperfections, well, it might just be someone else's dream. The secret, as the wise man knew all along, isn't out there somewhere to be found. It's already in your heart.